Welcome to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tattooing Network.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Your source for the latest Legion news, opinion, and analysis.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
John Archiquette.
Will somebody get this big walking carpet out of my way?
Matt Turner.
I'm not afraid.
And
My name is Jeff.
You will be.
What's going on, Outriders? John, Jeff, and Matt here from Power 9 Games in Las Vegas, Nevada. What's going on, dudes?
Your hive of scum and villainy.
It is, scummy and villainous.
Have you been doing that?
Doing what?
You always did the hive of scum and villainy.
I did until I kept screwing it up. So
you stopped? I was just thinking about that the other day. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard in a while.
Either that or Las Vegas is increasing in moral fortiditude.
No, it's definitely not that.
I don't think that's true at all.
See dumping trash out their window and they're riding around.
You've just lost all credibility.
You assume I had credibility.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here drinking a pumpkin spice cold brew, okay? My credibility is out the window.
I also am drinking a pumpkin spice cold brew because they are delicious.
They're amazing. If you guys haven't had them yet, go get them.
I'm drinking water because it's still like 106 outside.
Well, that too. I mean, you hydrate and then you have to feed your inner basics.
It's going to be down to the 90s next week, though.
Yeah. We'll
so
see.
excited.
We'll see.
We will see.
Yeah.
That's what everyone's come here for.
Put your
Las
sweater
Vegas
on.
Weather report.
I mean, well, I got mine from Alexa, so
Oh, okay. How's she doing?
she's good.
Yeah. Mine hates me.
Alexa, buy Legion Core set.
You should ask her when it's going to be out.
That's a good question.
Soon, a couple of weeks away. So
Thanks,
we're
Jeff.
getting there.
I have reset the clock. Yeah, news. We don't have a date
Putting
yet.
containers back on ships to China.
Yeah, no news on that, huh? On that front?
Not official ones, but it is going to be in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Well, luckily we have lots of other good news to talk about
Oh,
this week.
so much.
So FFG has spoiled us once again with wonderful news and lots of things to discuss and pour over and, maybe find some
Misinterpret
more
and read the rules wrong for.
That's the big one, misinterpret.
Yeah,
we love to do that.
that's
Well, that's what we do.
Our hallmarks of...
We read things. Actually, that's the reason we have this podcast is because we read things for ourselves, get it wrong, and then we rely on you, the community, to tell us why we're wrong.
Which they're very good at.
We're extremely
It is our hallmark of crapulence. You can rest assured knowing that we halfway read it at least.
So we've got some Star Wars news we're going to go over, some sneak peeks at some upcoming TV shows and whatnot. We got some command cards spoiled for the upcoming Operatives, which I'm super stoked to talk about. But we got a few games in this week or over the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, shoretroopers. My God, they're electric.
Yeah, Matt and I got a
Most of a
three-quarters of a
game.
game in, 2/3 of a game.
I'm so sad we had to. I had to bail out on that game. So
You snatched a draw from the
pretty
clutches of
close. It was
victory?
going to be. Well, we were doing Breakthrough, right?
Yeah, we were doing. It was breakthrough.
I had a very
and
bad list, but the shoretroopers carried me on their stout backs.
So you didn't have a bad list. I wouldn't say that.
I would because I didn't have any of the synergy stuff to actually.
So what were you playing with?
So as I recall, I had Becky, the Imperial officer,
Yeah,
as my commander. So and then Bosk and
Bosk and Boba.
Boba. Yep. 2 units with the shoretroopers and accompanying mortar teams, and then a couple of units of stormtroopers with DLT, and I think that was it.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
That doesn't sound too bad.
No, it wasn't a
It was
terrible
okay,
list.
but you couldn't get into the order shenanigans because all of my command cards were just the bounty hunter stuff.
Oh, yeah,
literally all I had.
But I mean, like everything else
So I
was...
couldn't give orders to the shore troopers to be able to use their
yeah.
So, but
That's important.
But you played it well, though.
Well, yes,
Or I
thank
played
you.
it
I did.
terribly. One of the
Well,
two.
one of those two. I was a little bit more prepared for the Tauntaun rush this time, and so it worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
Using those mortar teams, I think we talked about it before, but you can kind of block off the access to your troops. So
That was point 4G of the 10 points that I said about how to kill Tauntauns.
yeah, I think
4
there
or
was
6?
Yeah,
one of
Yeah,
those.
One of
those.
those. I think it was the umlaut version.
Yeah, he did a great job of putting his guys out there and then using one of the emplacements to basically block off a channel where I could charge through.
Yeah.
And of course, I hit it with my first Tauntaun unit thinking, okay, I'm going to punch through it, and he made some saves.
Oh yeah, I
and
made some insane saves, so
Yeah.
it still had 1 health left.
So I was unable to actually punch through that, and then by the time he was able to, either I killed it or he, pulled away. I'm not sure which happened, but it left my Tauntauns out there, with 4 dodge tokens, but
They
still,
still go away.
he chewed through those pretty quick.
Yeah.
I chipped away at him pretty well, but I was honestly, Bosk was the real hero of that engagement.
Yeah, he held it down.
Yeah, being able to run in there, punch a Tauntaun with his saber claws was pretty. Because I think it was round 2. I played the Frenzy,
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
so
you
he
did
got
that
the
against me
extra
one time.
attacks.
Yep.
He had Hunter, so he's getting aim for all that stuff. Because he gets an aim every time he makes an attack, and he gets 2, so it was really good.
Yeah, Bosk's a versatile lizard man.
Yeah, I really like him.
He's nothing to ignore on the battlefield, and he regenerates or can regenerate.
But
He's not
based
bad.
on the stuff we're going to talk about today, I've got a new list featuring Bosk and Shore Troopers and some other good stuff.
Oh yeah, there's lots of stuff that's going to shake
Yeah,
up.
we're going to be.
We're back to the Wild West, man.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Good. That's how it should be.
It's a nice place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Nova happened over the last weekend, and other podcasts have covered it. I mean, that's what happens when you have a guy who runs a podcast who also wins Nova. They tend to cover. all those
Congratulations,
things.
Kyle.
Yeah, congrats, Kyle. I mean, you guys are definitely the competitive place. We're more of just the.
Oh, I thought you were saying Matt's going to win.
We're
I mean, you
competitive.
might,
We're
I
just
don't know.
bad at it. So
Okay,
mostly
yeah,
it's a
that's
bunch
fair.
of hurt feelings and punching people in the nuts when they're not looking.
I mean, I just like
Hacha!
I just like to drink afterwards, and it's the beer tastes better when you're sad.
That's objectively true.
the tears
Yeah,
balance out.
But yeah, so
extra
Nova,
salt.
from what I heard, like the big 2 takeaways from Nova, Rebels were back. I mean, 8 out of 10 of the top table guys were running Rebels.
Go
and
Rebs.
Not just Tauntauns either.
Yeah.
From what I read, what I heard, it was a lot of vehicles. We had
Yep, land speeders
a
were out
couple
there.
A couple
Yeah.
double land speeder
Yeah.
lists.
Woo!
Some guys
Man,
running
yeah.
ATRTs.
I got tagged in a post. It's like, hey, look, double T-47s. And I was like, yay.
Well, land speeders were more popular. Not
Well,
the-
I'm
not
sure.
the
I'm
T-47s.
sure the T-40s, but I specifically got tagged in a
Okay.
T-47 double.
Yeah.
So yeah, we saw a bunch of those. 2 Imperials, of course. Kyle won it with Imperials, so it's not like they're it's entirely a rebel meta now.
Well, and he said it was a close game too, which is good, and that's what we're seeing a lot. I think
Good.
is really close games.
Yeah, and then the second takeaway a lot of people were talking about was the terrain issue.
Yeah.
Which apparently they made pretty good strides after the first round and were able to truck in some more.
Yeah,
But there was a really good post from the guys running, basically running the event down there about, hey, here's some of the challenges. We're trying to correct it. And, hats off to those. I wish I had their names in front of me. You guys write it down?
I
No, I
didn't
didn't.
know.
but from me not being a experienced competitive player and not really understanding how the behind the scenes stuff works. LJ gave me a lot of good background information, and then
Oh, yeah.
reading what those guys said too. People like to jump in and you start attacking the event, the tournament organizer, the TOs, and it's like the TOs apparently weren't even allowed to start setting their stuff up till like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
the day before.
And then they weren't allowed to use any of the stuff sourced from the local
Yep.
area. So.
Yep. So they were basically required to use the stuff that was provided by the the Nova event people, which I guess was all just 40K terrain anyway. And then a bunch of it wasn't even given to them that they were requested. So they're basically scrounging around trying to grab stuff off other tables and scavenge up a usable thing. And they allowed barricades and stuff the first round, just because there just wasn't enough stuff. And people were complaining. Well, but then you guys changed the game state for the second round. It's like, look,
Yeah.
what are you gonna complain about there not
That's
being
not
enough
what that
terrain,
means.
or
If you change the table during the game, that changes the game state.
sure.
You can't change the game state between games.
Well, who knows? But there were people complaining about it. But
I did see some really good looking tables at the end of it, though. I want to
Yeah.
say, yeah, and there was some good constructive comments that came out of that as well. It wasn't all just blasting. Yeah, good terrain discussion. Yeah,
yeah, so I guess my takeaway from it is just don't start laying into some people who've volunteered to
lot
set
of
these
their
events
time,
up, and a lot of their time just to try to make the stuff work, and then have other circumstances get in the way. So,
But hopefully they'll take into consideration those circumstances next year.
sure.
It's the internet. We have zero patience, right?
Yeah. I know.
Social
I don't,
media. Yeah. Bring out
Also,
your
it makes me
pitchforks, yeah.
very appreciative that we have Brendan and LJ doing, everything
Oh,
that they
yeah.
do for LVO because, man, like we didn't have any of those issues last year.
Yeah,
Nope.
just the one table with the T40 or the X-wings everybody hated.
Oh, the T-70s?
Yeah, the T-70s.
I think I played on that one.
Yeah.
I
I don't know.
It was a
But
cool
no.
looking
It was,
table.
one that
was,
had
yeah,
some-
yeah.
It was a cool.
Functionality wise, that's debatable. But
I think the important thing is to have
You're
fun.
debatable.
And I mean, if you're having fun playing, you got to take some things, good things with bad.
yeah, for sure. But congrats, Kyle, for winning that.
Yay!
That's awesome. I know it's his home turf too, so it's we'd be nice if somebody from Las Vegas could win LVO, so we can stake our claim.
Oh no, sir.
We're not even going to win
No.
our own RPQ. Let's be
I mean,
real here.
you were our best hope, and well, Jeff got to the final table.
Jeff got to
the final and then
I
I
like
did
to bring,
terrible.
and then you did
Yeah.
terrible. So
I
you'll
threw
do
it all
better this
away.
year, right?
Yep. You were coaching me, so I just I took.
Well, now you know better. So fool me once.
Well, that pretty much wraps it up for local Legion news here. What's there for
Larger Star Wars
Yeah.
news? Zikow! Da-da-da-da. Star Wars news. Told him I wanted a stinger, so I'm doing it myself.
I mean, we spare no expense for the
We
best
spared-
of Foley
yeah.
artists here. Next week, we're going to get the guy from Police Academy in here.
Ooh, that'd be cool. So, hey, John.
Yeah.
Can I borrow $700?
Why do you always do this on the air?
Ask you for money?
Sure, let me just go ahead and crack open my wallet. the sound of my Velcro
Ooh,
wallet,
Velcro,
folks.
yeah, very 80s, nice. Because I need it to buy the new Lego Imperial Star Destroyer kit.
God.
Is
They
this along
announced
this?
this the other day. It's one of their like technical lines, but it's over 4,700 pieces, and it looks really good. But I'm sure the Lego guys are well aware of this. But yeah, $700. It'll
So-
probably go for like twice that much because they always make like limited amounts of these guys.
So then you have to decide between if you want to play Legion or if you want to buy Legos. That's the next decision.
Legion's cheaper, it turns out. So
How about
if
this?
you're
How
listening to
about
this,
I
you made
just-
the right choice.
How about I just buy a whole box full of loose Lego bricks?
You're gonna
dump
have a
them on the
blue and
floor?
red and
Say,
green.
Here's your
Star
here's your
Destroyer.
Alderaan
Yeah.
kit.
Aw.
Too soon.
Too soon.
That's hilarious. So that's going on. Also, hey, people that have Switch, good news. You're going to be able to play a Star Wars game. No, not Fallen Order, but Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast is coming to the Switch. It's going to be the first Star Wars title to feature on the Switch beyond, like, the pinball game.
I feel like that should have been the pitch Nintendo went with to advertise the game.
Let's see. Obi-Wan. There's going to be a Spiel Fest special sculpt of Obi-Wan going on over there.
Oh yeah,
It
so
looks really nice.
If you live in Essen, Germany,
Yeah.
I mean that's pretty awesome. I like the model. I don't know how I feel about the giant rail thing that he's
I was going to
on.
ask, what is he riding on? Is that supposed to
I think
be
that's supposed to be from like episode 3, like the
Yeah,
dueling scene
they're
when
fighting on
lava,
things are
yeah.
coming around and blowing up and all that. I think it looks pretty good. But
It looks awesome. I think it's
Yeah.
cool.
They should have put him on the little like lava droids that they were riding on.
hey, when you get your version,
All right,
your
I'll start
copy
on
of it
I gotta start
on
winning
eBay
tournaments.
for €250.
I just hope next year that they have the Anakin like kind of mashup for that, so you can put them together, and then Anakin's like 3 stumps and
Just take his legs off and yeah. Remember that time remember the time you fell in the lava? Good times.
That'll be a do-it-yourself kit. You just light one of your other
Right.
things on fire, just cut the limbs off, and then burn it.
Speaking of, one of the guys was sharing in the Facebook page had a really nicely painted T-47
yeah.
Oh yeah,
that
that
his
was
dog got a hold of.
both heartbreaking and a nice turn.
It was really
Right?
cool looking because I think there's like some. You can try and damage it yourself, but it won't get that naturally chewed kind of look that
Yeah.
a dog can bring to your hobbying.
That was actually one of my favorite like happy accidents that I've seen so far.
It looks fantastic.
yeah,
Yeah,
he turned that bad situation around really quick.
that was the most accurately damaged speeder I could have imagined
Right.
seeing. So. Also, new Invader League is coming up. Sign-ups are starting, well, let's see. Registration is on the 15th of this month, and then until the 27th. It starts on the 30th of September, so a couple weeks after, hopefully, maybe a week or two after the Clone Wars stuff. But Outriders are sponsoring the #1 prize this year. So
We are. So
yay!
we're not going to be winning the first prize anytime soon. So this is our way to try to celebrate, also being in first place.
So thank you, folks that contribute to Patreon, because now we're reinvesting some of that back into the community. So we're just going to take a second to pat ourselves on the back. John, I'll pat you. You pat Jeff. Jeff will get me. Good job, guys.
All right.
And that's about it. Well, there's a lot of Mandalorian stuff. I know you wanted to talk Mandalorian.
Yeah, so we saw a screenshot or, some kind of
It looked like toys,
photo
I swear.
Yeah. It did a little bit, but they showed 2 Trandoshans.
Are they, though?
Trandoshans? What is the appropriate, syllable pronunciation?
Oh, you got to go from the back of your throat.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah.
They showed 2 of them on there. They kind of look like Trandoshans, but the face looked a
like
little bit
maybe
different.
hybrids or something, because they don't look like Bosk.
Just young
Or
Trandoshans.
like any of the ones, there was 1 or 2 we saw in the Clone Wars, I think, the TV show.
Yeah, so you guys will probably know better than me on that one because,
Still haven't watched it.
I think they probably just have better
Disney Plus
costumes.
is coming, bud.
They didn't repurpose a Doctor Who costume with long arms.
That's fair. Yeah, that's true. I wonder if they're going to change it in post or something. Then again, it is coming out very soon, so
Just stretch their arms out.
yeah.
But it's cool because we know we've got an IG, some kind of IG droid that's going to be in it. Obviously, the Mandalorian's in it.
What,
Bosk
11?
is in it.
IG 11 is the... They already...
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. Just,
Okay.
Pop toys, or the pop figures. The
Mhm.
models,
Oh,
yeah. That's where they
interesting.
saw that name.
Well,
so.
that's all the credibility I needed.
Yeah.
So now we just need somebody, dressed up with diapers all over their head, and then we've got the entire cast of Empire Strikes Back
Yeah.
bounty hunters.
You want things disintegrated? Get me integrated.
All right, any other Star Wars news?
That's pretty much the interesting stuff.
So one thing before we move on, I do want to give a shout out for hobby stuff.
Community Spotlight.
Yeah, Matt Harvey was a guy who had posted some photos up on the Facebook page of his army he's done with droids, where he's based all of them what looks like kind of like Felucia. It's
the mushroom planet.
It's like blue turf.
Ayla
and then-
Secura got drilled in the back on. That's the one.
Yes,
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. I don't know. Sure.
Yeah, the
Your knowledge is bigger than mine.
I probably am misremembering that, but I'm pretty sure that was all Felucia.
That's the table that I intend to make at some point. But anyway, the guy who actually does things he says he's going to set out to do did a really good job with his bases on his droids. They're all like this blue turf
pop.
with these like pink little poppy flowers and stuff, and it looks really
It
sharp.
is the Disney electrical parade, given life on the bases there. It's pretty exceptional.
Yeah, it does look really good.
I don't know how many tables that's going to blend in with if you're playing, at a competition. You're going to be, standing.
Well,
out
if you
a
ever
lot.
build the Fallujah table,
Well, there
One.
you go. Yeah.
There you go.
So congrats or props.
are you
to
going to have it in time for the RPQ?
I'm going to try to. Yeah.
Okay.
That's my goal.
Speaking of, October 12th and 13th, RPQ here at Power 9 Games.
Yeah, we're not sold out yet, are we?
No, we still got some tickets. So
Nice.
power9games.com, and you can get yourself a ticket and
Prevent us from winning our own RPQ.
If I buy the rest of the tickets, can I just win?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
You can watch me lose in real time, Jeff.
All right.
They switched up the RPQ format now, right?
Yes, that was one of the other articles that came out the other day. What were they called? What's it called now? It's the
organized.
right. It's the Prime Day or something.
Yes, we're gonna look
Prime
that up,
event.
So we're not
I just
totally
remember
wrong
it
with
was
that,
being
but-
Amazon. Thanks for putting me on the spot now.
My bad. Well, it just popped into my head, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about
Yeah.
that yet." But this is the show prep that you guys
I mean, we prepped all
Expect
the
from
other
us.
stuff. I had to write down all that information about the Star Destroyer, so it took up the time, talking about things that.
When you use
Yeah.
crayon, it takes a lot of space too.
when I don't chew on them. Well, I mean, we had a lot of articles from FFG this week.
Yeah, there was the tactical maintenance, which we're going to go into, the Living Legend for the Obi-Wan. There was a bunch of X-Wing news too. Father and Son, which is the Prime Championships. I knew it was Prime in there.
Yeah. Which that one, like when I saw the article, I was like, "Oh, what is this all about? Father and son?" Like, I was interested, but it's just about the organized play, which is cool. Just a misleading title.
Sorry, you felt misled. Betrayed.
I was like expecting some kind of cat.
He was sitting at his desk. He's like, "Papa."
Papa, can you hear me?
So do we have any details on those yet?
I mean, the kits look fantastic. I think that was what most of the people were commenting
Yeah,
on.
prize support's starting to look really good.
They're stepping it up there. But the full art cards for Luke and Vader look great, and that's like the top 32 get those.
Yeah.
And then top 16 we get some of the command cards. Ooh, so good.
Do we know if that's going to be for the RPQ coming up in October?
No.
This
We've
is
got
starting
the
next year?
previous kit. Yeah,
Okay.
that'll be for next year.
Word.
I wish. That'd be great. And then we got finalist, faction tokens and things like best.
Yeah, those looked really cool.
Best in class. So
Nice.
the one droid guy out there can get the droid faction token.
So actually, with that preview article, we saw the rest of the command cards spoiled for Luke and Vader. The operative ones coming up, and dude, like these command cards look really good.
Yeah. There's going to be some real good choices for Luke and Vader players coming up here.
So should we go ahead and just dive into those right now?
You want to do those? Sure.
Let's do it. All right. So being a Luke player, I'm going to go ahead and just jump on the Luke here. So
When was the last time you played Luke?
the last time, no, not the last time I played. I would have to say, like, if I had to like break down the percentage of times I've played,
You've
Commanders,
mostly played Luke.
I
I
played a
think
lot
it's
of
been a little bit. You've been playing around.
I think
with
every
other
time I
things.
played you played Luke, except for once maybe.
I'd say majority of the time I did mess around with the Han, Luke, Leia list, or Han, Leia, Chewie list for a while, but I like playing Luke. Anyway, so Operative Luke, 3 pip card. I am a Jedi. It's Luke gains surge to defense and cannot perform attacks. When he's issued an order, he may choose up to 2 enemy troopers at range 1. Those units cannot perform attacks. So, I mean, this feels like a really good turn 2 card.
Yeah.
If you can get up close to the enemy, but you don't want to necessarily get into combat yet, but you want to get like your guys out there like to move into positions you need them. This is the perfect card to do it. If you can disable, say you want to disable 3 units, you get throw that on 2 Death Trooper units and then pull another unit into combat, so you can't get shot at all.
I could see it being a good late game card too, where you have one health left. You got 2 guys, 3 guys surrounding you. Yeah, just go ahead and hit 2 of them with that, and
Yeah.
Most late game stuff, you're only looking at a few models left on the board.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think because one of the reasons why these cards are all so powerful is because they're only operative cards. They only affect your commander or the unit itself. So this is a 3 pip card that you can only issue an order to Luke.
But it has a lot. I mean, that's a huge advantage to take away 2 units attack.
Definitely, yeah. So that one, I mean, that's his first one that was revealed. The 2 pip, full of surprises. Luke gains 1 dodge token. While Luke is defending, he rolls a number of additional defense dice equal to his courage value minus the number of suppression tokens he has.
Yeah, another great card. You want to roll more red defense dice? Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Operative Luke has more courage, right?
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
Operative Luke has courage 4.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
Yep.
And the art on that is amazing too.
Yeah. I'm looking at the art from the kit, and it's all basically off of stills from the movie.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic, but they both look really good.
Yeah, that's the same one, right? The
So full of surprises,
He's
he's
getting-
being
yeah.
pulled up by the Rancor.
Yeah,
He's got the
Rancor.
bone in his hand, so looks really good.
And of course, the Operative Luke is kind of the Return of the Jedi Luke. The
Oh,
more
very
powerful
much so,
version.
yeah.
right.
And then the 1 pip card, you serve your master well. I'm
You were
debating.
gushing about that
This
the other
might
day.
be the
yeah.
best command card we've seen yet. It's issue an order to Luke, and then he has a exhaustible ability.
No, that's a free action, isn't it? That's
Is it
a free action.
Oh shoot, my bad. Okay,
Yeah.
free action. Choose a friendly, non-commander, non-operative trooper unit at range 1, or a suppressed enemy non-commander, non-operative trooper at range 1. Perform 1 free move or attack action with that unit. If it is an enemy unit, it can attack and start a melee with other enemy units. That is huge.
It's kind of hilarious too. And the art fits it perfectly. Where he does the mind trick on Jabba's little minion there.
So first, right off the bat, I think this really brings into play adding Jedi Mind Trick to Luke.
Bib Fortuna.
Bib Fortuna, thank you. I don't know all these names. I'm not as
I couldn't
well
not
versed
tell
as you.
you.
Yeah.
that
I knew Bib Fortuna.
Yeah,
I knew
he
that
knows
one.
that.
I
Everybody
know
knows
Salacious
Bib.
Becrum. That's all I know because he's hilarious.
I don't think
looking.
there's a B in there. I think it's just Salacious Crumb.
No, it is Salacious
It's
B.
Salacious
Crumb.
B.
It
Crumb.
is?
100% right.
Oh, I
Oh,
want to smack
okay.
you so hard right now.
Oh, gee, you got one on the board.
Yeah.
Good job,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah.
We're taking you to pub trivia night.
What does the B stand for?
I don't know. I know what I would.
Best friend. Because
Best
he is Jabba the Hutt's best friend. So, yeah, first of all, I think this card really, really warrants taking Jedi Mind Trick. Because it allows you to pretty much throw a free suppression on an enemy.
Yeah.
And, that leads right into this card. But this is a super versatile card. You can use it as a force push. You need to get one of your guys into a position. You can use that for this. But having the ability to force your opponent to attack themselves.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you have one of those really threatening opponents or enemy units that you want to take advantage of. Knock.
What was the first thing you said for that? I believe it was Death Troopers.
Oh, Death Troopers.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, you got somebody who's just got a fully kitted out unit of Death Troopers sitting there at range 2, and you're worried about them, coming up and blasting you. It's like, no, you know what? Move into range, and then throw this on them, and then have them, dump a full volley of fire into Darth Vader.
Or just turn the dewback around and have some fun.
Right,
Wait, can you?
It's a trooper unit,
it's
right?
any non-commander, non-operative trooper unit.
Yep. And creature troopers
Creature
are troopers.
troopers, I
yeah.
guess.
Creature
Counts,
troopers,
yeah.
troopers, yeah. This also includes emplacement troopers. So if somebody wants to make that E-web, just turn around and shoot their own tank.
Yeah.
There you
I'm
go.
sure there's some stuff, there's going to be some play state, minutia stuff going on there. You won't be able to go crazy with it.
Oh, yeah, because I will be galloping my dewbacks away at full speed to get away from Luke. It's exactly not the matchup I don't think they want.
Yeah, so, looking at how they have these operative cards,
Chomping on Luke would be fun.
I think it's going to lead to a lot of single commander-focused lists. I'm already looking at doing just, because you don't want to have Wonder Twins and have these.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're back to that, you're going to have, 600 points tied up in your commanders and operative, if you throw everything on
Here
it.
comes, Imperial Officer Becky, to the rescue.
Yeah.
Okay, Becky, you're in charge. All right, I'm just going to, let Vader go do his thing.
Sure, if I were to bring Operative Luke or Commander Luke, I probably wouldn't want to bring Leia or another commander that's going to lose value because I'm not using their command cards.
Yeah. Plus, if you bring the generic commanders, it opens up more options for you to issue orders to those different units. Like Matt was saying, he could only issue orders to his bounty hunters last time he played.
Yep.
Yeah, you want to be able to give those orders out to the people you need.
Yeah, so, really good cards. I can definitely see a reason to put all 6 of your Luke cards on a Luke list. Vader. We got some good Vader cards previewed. Are you excited for these, Jeff? Matt?
Just the name on them, because I think that's everybody's favorite quote for Vader right now was his 2-pip.
Oh, his 2-pip?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go into that one right away.
Okay.
Fear and Dead Men.
Oh, Fear and Dead Men.
So the art from the one somebody posted on Facebook, and I forget the name. Sorry. He posted the comic where it was all I am surrounded by fear and dead men.
Yeah,
because
wow, they called for him to surrender after he crashed into the planet, and he was like, "We have you surrounded." Oh yeah, sure you do, buddy. But they actually did a reprise for the art in the kit, where it's that same scene. It's just from a different angle and stuff.
Nice.
It looks really good.
Yeah, so that card is, while Darth Vader uses Deflect, the attacker suffers 1 wound for each blank result instead of a surge. So, yeah, basically 3 out of 6 times you're going to be throwing a Deflect out there. When an enemy unit and range 1 to 2 and in line of sight to Darth Vader activates, Darth Vader gains 1 dodge token. So that's awesome. I mean, you're basically just, leave him sit there and just dare people to shoot you.
Oh man,
I think it's hilarious because all those people that play Vader and complain when he rolls blanks. Here's your card.
Yeah, there
Shut
it is.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, really, the only thing that this is gonna, leave yourself open to is range 3 to 4 shots. If somebody shoots you first and you're getting shot from range 3 to 4, that's not gonna set off the range 1 to 2 activation. So.
The only thing this is going to leave you exposed to is taking Vader in every damn Empire list you make.
Well, we'll talk about that in the next segment. Cause there's
new Operative Vader is faster too, right? He doesn't.
He's a little bit faster.
And he's cheaper.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely some plus sides with that. His 1-pip card, Vader's Might. This is a free action. Choose another non-heavy unit at range 1 and place that unit on the battlefield within range 1 and height 1 of its current position. Then, if it is an enemy unit, roll 1 white defense die for each mini in the unit. That unit suffers 1 wound for each block and surge result. So, essentially, you've got a 33% chance of just straight up killing.
This is his one pip. I don't know if you
missed
it.
Yeah.
This is the Vader flavor I've been waiting for, because
Yeah.
that is the Vader I've got in my mind, just pulling things out of the wall and smashing them into people. So,
Except people instead of things out of
You're
the
Right,
basically
yeah,
pulling
that
the
too,
people and
yeah.
throwing them into the wall.
well, yeah. Specifically, I was thinking Empire.
I don't
Vader,
remember
but-
that in the movies where he just like picked up his own troops and threw them at somebody. That would have been cool.
Yeah,
They should-
that sounds like a Force Unleashed kind of thing.
And this is huge because it's like, again, like a force push
Yep.
that just happens to kill you.
Yeah,
So
to death, a little bit.
So that's a really awesome card.
Yeah.
And the 3-pip, Darkness Descends. When Vader's issued an order, he gains 2 surge tokens. This card may be revealed at the start of the deployed unit step. If it is, it must be selected during round 1. Darth Vader gains Infiltrate and Scout 1, and he must be deployed at the end of setup. So, Deep Striking Vader.
Oh man, it's so good.
And I gotta throw, the art on this one looks amazing too.
Yeah.
Straight out of Rebels, him riding on the top of the TIE fighter,
Oh,
or the
yeah.
TIE
Oh
Advanced.
yeah.
It's pretty good looking.
But, I mean, the biggest complaint against Vader, besides being too expensive, and again, we'll talk about that later, is how slow he is.
Mobility. Yeah.
Well, nothing makes it easier than starting halfway up the board.
I'm here now. Yeah.
There are some small things. Infiltrate, you're only going to be able to deploy at range 3, so he's not going to be in your army's face. But I mean, you're still putting him pretty.
It's like, Jyn Erso, is that you? This is weird.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty good. You want to sit him on an objective, early in the game. If your opponent leaves it open, just plop him down. Come at me, bro.
And even if you can't get as close as you want to get, you may force your opponent to deploy in a way that they don't want to.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it says at the end, right? At the end, he's the last one to deploy.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. But he still gets the scout, and I mean, scout 1. it's not a lot of
That's a
range.
free
Even
move.
if you
but-
start
it's a
like
free move.
12 inches forward from where he would otherwise, that's
Yeah.
a big win.
Yeah.
But this could force your opponent to have to spread out.
Yeah.
Say you're playing somebody who's got clones or droids, and they really want that fire support, or they want to be within that command range. So they leave themselves out, especially for a deployment like battle lines.
Yep.
Where you kind of like, if you clump up that way, you're going to leave a lot of room for Vader to deploy. And that may force you to spread your stuff out to prevent, kind of bubble wrap, as we call it in 40K.
Yeah.
Bubble wrap your stuff so Vader can't get in close, but that may affect your command range.
Yeah.
So
This
it
could
causes
be
your
the
opponent to change his
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
deployment.
And with
strategy.
Operative Vader, I mean, he's faster. He's going to get in your face faster.
But this could be the start of maybe a little bit more fast, aggressive Empire list, because maybe you'll want to have some stuff to, hey, speeder bikes now. All of a sudden they can catch up with Vader and start supporting him. The dewbacks. There's some potential here.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's kind
with
of used
Spur
to the
and
Stand back range for everything.
or the slow advancing bubble of doom with
with the snow troopers
Palpatine
and
snow troopers and Royal Guard. So
Yep.
this gives an option for a quick strike Imperial melee force. So I think it's a cool
I'm
new
excited
way
to try
run it.
that out. Yeah.
So when are we going to get our the projection Luke, where we can like pretend like we're fighting you? The new movie Luke as the Rebel players. Never. Matt's face
Not
was
till
great.
they announce the new trilogy factions, get
Hopefully
First
never.
Order and whatnot. Oh, it's happening, man. You know it is.
That's a debate for a different day. All right.
I want my scum and villainy first, though.
Yeah, exactly. So that pretty much wraps up the stuff for the operative commanders coming out. Gonna take a quick break, come back. We'll look at all the new points changes, because that's gonna shake up the meta quite a bit.
You're listening to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tatooine Network, recorded on location at Power 9 Games. Whether you're looking for the latest releases from Legion, X-Wing, 40K, Magic, or any of our other extensive inventory of board and card games, head to power9games.com and use coupon code OUTRIDER10 to get 10% off your order. Plus, shipping is free on orders over $100. Now, back to the Outriders.
Welcome back, Outriders. John, Jeff, and Matt here talking about all the new point changes that we saw in the updated rules guide. And, man, a lot of big stuff here.
There's a lot to unpack here. Specifically, well, not just the point changes, but what it means for the game going forward as well.
And just to begin with, I'll admit that I was somebody who I wasn't really...
You are on record as saying that you don't think point changes is the way to go.
Yeah, I did say that, and just a cursory look at everything that was announced, I'm happy with it.
Okay.
I don't like the precedent of changing points just because I feel like you're gonna run into issues with people having the right card information on them. If somebody isn't, say they bought the core set and a couple expansion packs and don't keep up with the community, they may walk into a tournament for the first time and then have a completely outdated list because they didn't know about the points changes.
Yeah.
Well, there are some things that was talked about specifically from the tactical maintenance article that they put out. So this will be apparently a yearly thing that they do. They'll do a little bit of a balance pass and adjustment, not just points, but they did touch on some of the rules a little bit. We'll talk about those, but also that they will not be doing an app for this.
That's good.
So, but they said specifically they will not be updating the cards that come with the units. They will be as they were published, and that is how casual players or people that are not playing at a competitive events, they can play that way.
Cool.
If you don't want to play that way, then you can get the updated rules for more competitive play. I know we will almost 99.999% of the time probably be playing the updated.
I'm going to stick with updated.
Yeah, for sure. But overall, I would say that I'm happy with what we saw that came out. So let's jump into it. Let's jump in. Let's go over the unit point changes first. What units went up and went down?
We'll start with the Galactic Empire. We had the 74Z, the bikes. They went down 25 points, so they're now at 75 points. That's a pretty big drop. I know a lot of people on the...
Was it 25?
15 points.
15 points, yeah.
They were 90.
They were 90.
I got a little sleep last night, so bear with me if my math is bad.
A little too little.
Yeah.
So this should make everyone on Facebook happy who was crying about, the Tauntauns are the same price as the speeder bikes.
Yeah.
Well, now they're not.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And
we could still complain about the Tauntauns. I'm sure that'll happen.
But no, I mean, it's probably good. We weren't seeing a lot of the speeder bikes being played in a while.
Yeah, I think that was just because of hard counters to them, which, we'll get into that later, too. We saw some changes there that'll help the bikes survive.
Yep.
So 15-point change.
Yeah.
And,
worth a look.
Yeah, worthwhile.
I mean, for what they can do in their action economy, that's not too bad. The ATST, it dropped down to 170 from 195. Woo! Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, I know you're happy about that.
I'm so happy about that one.
And I mean, that's pretty fair. The fact that it can't control objectives in some cases or contribute to those objectives.
Right.
It seems fair.
I thought they were doing a good job with, creating pilot upgrades that were good for it.
It definitely helped out with like the hammer pilot and all that came out.
Because, you and I played a game shortly after that, and it did work. It did its job. So I don't think it was necessarily...
Blocked off your tauntauns.
I don't think it was necessarily a unit that was desperately in need of fixing, but I think that's a decent enough change.
Yeah, I think it was one of the ones, with the T-47, it came out so early in the game that they put the points on it.
Still finding their feet.
Yeah, exactly. And now they're just coming back and look at it. It wasn't getting played very much. Let's take a look at it. So, and I'm with you. They did a good balance here. It wasn't just a knee-jerk reaction. It looks like they took their time and made some good decisions.
Small adjustments.
Yeah.
Nudges, really.
Yeah. So next is Darth Vader. Everybody always said he was too expensive. Now he's 10 points cheaper.
And,
but also.
But, so we'll come back to the upgrade cards later, but because I think most people would agree that if you take Darth Vader, you're stapling Saber Throw to him. You're probably putting either Force Reflexes. I think Force Reflexes.
That's basically how I kit my Vader out every time.
Or Force Push or Force Push. But I mean.
So he effectively got like 20 points cheaper.
20 points cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. Once you put the upgrades on him.
So when you combine the command cards we just talked about that are coming out for Vader, and then the cheaper points, the cheaper upgrades, Vader got a lot better.
Yeah.
Which is good. He's the Dark Lord of the Sith.
Yeah, I mean,
he should be feared
thematic.
and respected.
You want to see a lot of Vaders on the table. I don't want to play against them, but
You want to see him walking down the hallway cutting up poor fleet troopers.
no, I like my fleet troopers.
Oh,
No, I'm there with you.
you haven't
All
played
right.
Fleet Troopers in a little while either.
I play them fairly. I play them more often than what most people in the meta would.
That's fair.
Well, good news. They got cheaper too. We'll get to that later. Yes.
Yeah.
So the Scout Trooper strike teams. This is for both factions right now. They went up to 20 points just for that base card.
So from 16 to 20.
From 16 to 20.
4 points. It's a good fix.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's not a
It's-
huge change,
yep.
and there was another change on the card. We'll get to that later too. But yeah, it's not it's not going to change everything.
Well,
There's still a
I think
value.
we should talk about it because that is kind of the point of why they got more expensive.
Yeah,
But also, they're bringing the infinite range of the sniper rifles down to range 5,
yeah.
which is an entirely new range band.
Which good.
Which, we can channel the shot color feeling because Josh was very upset about that when I was talking to him before the show. I was like, I don't have a range 5. And I was like,
How do I measure range 5?
I don't understand. This is BS. They're making us buy another rule kit. And I was like, dude, okay. If you're one of the people that didn't get like a double core set at the beginning, which I'm pretty sure he did.
He did,
But,
yes.
so he's got plenty of range bands. Talk to somebody who does. If worst case scenario, you go buy one of the kits and split it up between 4 other players and everybody throws in their $2. But
Right.
I'm excited for range 5 to be a part of the game.
I am too, and I think this is a good fix because a lot
Or
of times
measure out
range,
30 inches if
range
you really
5.
need to.
It's pretty rare you're ever not within range 5 of things. But
Yeah.
if say you're playing Long March and you've got just snipers sitting in the back corner somewhere, this eliminates that being a huge part of it.
Yeah, I think I talked about that with you guys. One of the first podcasts I came on was the long range shots, or I don't know, maybe I was just listening to it and popped in my head. But yeah, just sitting back.
You're just talking
Yeah, I
to
was
us.
talking to you.
like ghosts.
It was hard to fit in those moments of silence. There weren't many.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's a good change to have the range and the point cost. So and it shows that they're listening to the community as well.
Yeah. And it also, I don't think it is a detrimental amount to the fact where people aren't going to use them anymore.
No,
Tooling around with a list today, I've still got 2 units of snipers in there.
Yeah, I
There's
mean,
still a
range
cheap
5, you can
activation.
still
Yeah.
reach out and shoot
Yeah.
some people. It takes away a little bit of that. I can sit all the way on the other side of the board and plink away, which is what I used to do. So I have to change my strategy a
everyone
little
did.
bit. Yeah,
That's what
everyone
let's
did.
be
Yeah,
real.
exactly. Yeah. And then so we had two upgrade cards, 2 weapons. The HH-12 that went to 26 points. It was 34, so that was a pretty big drop.
Spoiler, there's 2 HH-12s in my list now.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
wow. Look at you.
Yeah.
And then the other one was the T7 Ion Snowtrooper. That dropped the same point cost down to 26.
Didn't it get a new range band too?
Yeah, that went to range 1 to 3. I think
Yeah,
it
I
was 1
think
to
it's
2
1 to
before.
3. Yeah, it was 1 to 2.
Yeah.
What's the T7 Ion Snowtrooper? I've never seen one.
It's the guy that's sitting in the back of your shelf. if
Get
you
ready
have
for all these
snowtroopers,
units
yeah.
you've never seen to hit the table, which is good.
I'm very excited
Yeah.
with the adjustments to vehicles like AT-STs and the snow speeders.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm going back to 2018 Outrider Matt and saying HH-12s.
Episode 1.
Episode 1. Here it is.
HH-12s. Matt
You
was
can feel
the...
vindicated. I was right.
It's that time where it's the broken clock.
is
Yeah,
right twice a day.
yeah.
There you go. It'll be the first time you're right.
Maybe
So I'm doing another one, right?
Right.
the FFG guys just started listening to your podcast and they were like, oh, yeah, let's make some changes. No, so I think it's a good, they're looking forward, not just, back at changes they need to make, for old units, but how can these units contribute to droids coming out,
Yeah.
new vehicles coming out with,
yeah.
tanks, and yeah, it's
I'm
a good
just
look
going to
forward.
write AAT on the side of my HH-12s.
So what else? So then we'll go to the Rebel Alliance. Chewbacca, he went down in cost to 95.
That kind of surprised me.
That actually was probably one of the few where I was like, really?
I think it's a good decision because he was a little costly for being what he was, which was a meat shield.
Yeah, he was not necessary. He was good for what he
Yeah.
did, but
And
I
he,
mean, hey.
white defense dice. He didn't surge.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a big change. 15 points.
50. You know what? I love Chewbacca.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm happy to have that because
Yeah.
I'll put him in more lists. But he's the only real good source of Guardian for Rebels.
Yeah.
And
That's fair.
You put him next to
A unit you want to keep on the board.
yeah. I mean, that's huge. a lot of extra wounds, and he's not bad at killing vehicles.
Yeah, no, and or units. If you take him with Leia, he's got brains and brawn, which I think is funny.
You were playing around
to
with
get,
that last time, weren't you?
Yeah. Brains and brawn's a fun thing because a lot of people don't expect it.
Right.
No.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's good to get to see a point change on him, get him back on the board. This is the one that surprised me. It was Jyn Erso going down to 110, so a 20-point drop on her, which I think is kind of good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
She needed it.
Yeah.
Let's be real here.
Yeah.
She was by far the least popular rebel commander.
She was the experimental girlfriend in college, and people tried it out, said, "Okay, this isn't for me," and then put her back on the shelf. Which
I
is
really
too bad.
like her. I think she was a good unit.
Yeah,
It's
you
just,
tried. You played her a fair amount.
Yeah.
So
And we both did for a couple months. I
Yeah.
was
Did you?
experimenting pairing her with every other commander, seeing what she worked best with.
Yeah.
It was fun.
okay.
She's a fun unit to use.
I think the changes with Dauntless. I think the point changes. Maybe we'll see some more Jyn
That's good.
lists out there. Yep.
Good.
The Rebel Strike Team, we already covered that. They went up in price. And then the T-47, Matt's favorite units.
Oh, I'm so happy.
It dropped down to 140. So the biggest drop, I think, of all the
35-point drop. And okay, talk about T-47 for a second. So I called it a little bit last week where I'm like,
you want some damn credit? Is what you want.
I mean, without even factoring in the point changes, I said like, hey, if you're worried about Tauntauns being too popular in the meta, take some T-47s. And then all of a sudden,
wait, you were serious? I thought you were joking.
No, I was dead serious, man.
Oh, okay.
Well, Nova had a lot of Tauntauns out of those Rebel lists, from what I heard. Not all of them, but there was a lot.
Well, you had the Tauntaun list, but then you also had the the counter list that people were expecting because what was killing the Tauntauns were killing the Imperial gun lines.
Yep.
And those Imperial gun lines were kind of like the hard counter to Rebel armor.
Mm-hmm.
So because of the fact that we weren't going to see a lot of Imperial gun lines, a lot of people brought that Rebel armor, and that ended up having a lot of spots in the top 10.
Yeah.
So and that was before these point reductions. With the Rebel airspeeder getting a huge 35-point if you're running two of them, that's a 70-point reduction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
I mean, that's a fully kitted out Z6 unit right there.
And I mean, since Matt jumped into it too with the ranges, they also added it's immune to range 1 weapons now, so you can't, you don't have to worry about grenades getting lobbed up at it, or
Yeah. Oh man, that drove me up the wall. I mean, I did it, but I didn't like it.
yeah.
I felt really dirty.
Yeah, I
about
felt
doing it.
really bad.
So I think that's a good thematic change too.
Bird strike.
Yeah, it's a good change. I think.
Any other changes to the speeder?
No, I think that was it. Just the immune to range 1 and the price change.
Oh, the upgrade cards for it.
Oh yeah. So I haven't got to those yet. Sorry.
We should probably talk about all those because the ground buzzer went down to 10 from 20.
Yeah. So yep, down.
I don't know that I would still put one on, but I guess you could.
I think if I'm running T-47s, the only upgrades I'm running is either HQ uplink, depending on how you want to run that, and the what do you call it, the Chewbacca pilot, the Wookiee pilot.
Oh, the outer rim.
Outer rim,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, that gives them cover too.
Yeah, I think if
that's
you
pretty
start
good.
dumping too many points into it,
good.
yeah, it's
Well, I mean, you can get the tow cable for like
Yeah.
3 points.
yeah, that's
now.
3 points now. That was
Might as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going
That
to see
just gives you
all those
a-
ATSTs and tanks now. So
Well,
gives you a shot out of the rear. like
yeah,
your
it
rear
gets you a
arc.
red die.
Yeah, and it does have arsenal too.
3
so for 3
points.
points, yeah,
3
that's,
points, John. Come on.
Yeah, how often am I ever going to try to put someone in my rear arc, though?
3 points, John. Come on.
I mean, it could happen.
No, I'm pretty sure I played a game one time where somebody hit me with a tow cable on, like, Luke, and I failed the armor save.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a red die.
It is, yeah.
Clunk. Oh.
It was more just annoying than anything. It was like, really, you're going to shoot
So
me
it's
with a tow
worth 3
cable.
points. Yes, that's what I'm hearing.
As the
That
pilot
one-
soars by, flipping them off.
Pretty much. So I don't know that either of those are going to be must-takes.
No.
Not
no.
must takes, but yeah, if you
There
have
are
extra
options.
points and you're like 3 points.
Did we see any upgrades to the barricadas?
No.
Oh, man. Are they worth points yet?
You can't upgrade the barricades. They're already as good as they're going to get. They're already the greatest thing in the box. You buy a core
That's fair.
set for more barricades.
More barricadas, yeah.
I think I did see a change though where they do give cover to tanks and the terrestrial slipper. That was yeah. So that's in the upcoming rules. So pay attention to that. There's some rule changes on not rule changes, but they clarified on how cover works a little bit, which I think is good.
I'd love to see fortifications be able to be like brought in, like pay points for them. Like, oh, here's 30 points. You get like 2 segments of barricade.
Do not want that.
No, you don't like that?
Absolutely
okay, never
not.
mind.
I hated that in 40K when people did that.
That was fun. Get the little quad gun out there. It's the only way to get some anti-air in some of your lists, but so maybe not necessary for Legion.
That's what your E-Web is for. That's what your those are your
E-Webs.
So then the upgrade changes. I like this first one, the A300, the rifle for the Pathfinders. That went to a cost 0, which I think is good. It was 6 points to start with, not a big change.
It was honestly, I thought Pathfinders were a unit that needed the point change.
Yeah.
So I guess as long because this was something
cheaper.
I was taking
On the
anyway,
back end,
so
yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, and I mean, you're not getting a lot out of that gun anyway. What, 1 white die at range 4? That's not that impressive.
It's not great.
Yeah, and then reconfigure it to a red die at 1 to 2. I mean, it's good, but it takes action to reconfigure. And then the ATRT, all 3 weapons are now 20 points, which
That's
I think
great.
is, I think that's cool.
That's really good.
So this kind of brings into the question: do you still, because rotary gun was for me the go-to weapon for it. I mean, unless you're running a specific list for the flamethrower,
Right.
but I thought the rotary one was the best. However, having that be the same point value as a laser cannon, it changes things a little bit. Having that range 4 is nice.
Yeah, and they talked about it a little bit on the stream too, and they said, for 20 points, it's not going to get through cover that much. For the 35 points that it was, they were saying it's not going to get through cover that much with 3 dice.
Right.
So it's not, it's not that.
That was
big a
always the
change.
fall off is the versatility of it, but hey, if we're going to see AATs on the field, then having a 75 point, screw you impact for Rebels.
I'm still a bigger fan of the rotary just because having that surge to crit.
Yeah, I think
I think it's still
surge to
kind of
crit,
your mileage may vary.
Yeah, it's better against troopers. It's it's the general weapon that I would take. And then we already went over
General weapon.
We already went for the T-47 upgrades, and then the last 3 are trooper changes. So the newest one, the CMO 93, they lowered the cost on that from 31 to 26, which I am a huge fan of. I like that weapon, but I think it was way too expensive.
The
Crit 2, 4
Yeah.
white dice.
Yeah.
It goes with the veterans.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that was it was too
Okay,
high
I could
cost to
see it.
begin with. Yeah.
So actually, this was really needed, and somebody brought up an interesting point on Facebook. No Time for Sorrow's blog, I guess, did a write-up on the actual value of each unit, and for the Rebel vets, adding that upgrade actually decreases your value efficiency.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because of the points?
Because of the points and the added value,
How much you're going to get out of the extra damage?
Oh, you have to feed that back into the calculator, see where it comes out now.
Yeah, so I think now with that point reduction, it's probably back to even, I would say. I don't think it's going to increase the value all that much, but having the critical 2 is nice, but on a unit that already surged to hit, it's not absolutely necessary.
Right.
And, I mean, you and I both feel the same way about white attack dice.
Yeah, I'm not a fan
Get out
of
of
them.
here.
I think the only thing that makes it that I liked was the critical 2, versus the Z6 where you're just, what are you going to do with your surges? Nothing.
Yeah. I think that, people were saying, well, why didn't the T-21 for the shoretroopers get a point reduction? It's like, well, because that's actually a good weapon.
Yeah. That's the thing is, if you notice, a lot of the changes are to the Rebel weapons, and I think it was needed. The Empire's sitting pretty good right now, and the changes they made to them were good.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 units, the MPL 57s, both of them. So the Ion for the Rebel troopers, that went to 24 instead of 32. So that's a pretty big drop.
Yeah.
And that's the tap to use 2 red, and it's range 1 to 3 impact Ion.
Yep.
So I think that's a good counter to droid units that we're going to see coming out.
Yep.
You got that tank, take you an MPL 57.
I'm glad that we're so united on hating on the AAT. I
I
know
hate
I've
on
been bringing it up a lot, but now you brought it up.
Well,
so that's
I mean,
good.
it's good for the
For all droids.
Well, yeah. What was the other tank that came out though? The
Saber tank?
Occupier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a rough one for Rebels.
Yeah, I mean, plus if we're going to see more air speeders and more ATSTs, then
More
that's going to
vehicles.
be a good counter for that.
Yeah.
I still don't know how often I'll run them. Losing an activation, having to reset it is it's a I don't know. That's a
Oh,
huge
do you
cost
not have a
prohibitor.
Veers 3 pip to help you out?
No, I don't.
Oh, that's too bad.
And then the last one for the unit upgrades is the MPL 57 Barrage Trooper, the Fleet Trooper one. Went from 33 to 25, and that's the one that's Blast and Impact 2. So it removes cover and adds impact to the Fleet Troopers. It's not a bad one either. 1 black, 2 white.
Yeah,
It
but
taps
Pierce
as well.
is so good though.
Yeah.
Like that's scattergun with Pierce.
Scattergun is fantastic.
I think that's more of a you're going. You think you're in a vehicle heavy meta. You might take that instead. But I would doubt I'd be taking Fleet Troopers in a vehicle heavy meta.
Yeah, true. And don't forget, the other upgrades that are coming for the Rebel Troopers and Stormtroopers that we're seeing with new weapons. There's
expansion pack.
There's some good options
Yeah.
for those for anti-vehicle stuff too. So,
But I
these
think
aren't
it's-
your only choices.
I'm curious if the points were for those options were kept in mind for these points that were updated. I wonder how long they've known about these changes.
I'm guessing they've been
Probably
planning this
yesterday.
out for a while.
Yesterday, I just kind of winged them out
Let's
there.
just,
Just like,
throw some points out.
there you go.
I think they've been planning it for a while.
Yeah. I think it's good. It does bring the cost down to closer to what the expansion pack has.
So besides just points changes, the new rules guide gave us a bunch of rewording on units or I guess additions, right?
Did you want to go over the neutral upgrades? We have a bunch of
my
neutral
bad,
stuff.
my bad. Yeah, go over that stuff
No,
too.
it's fine. So we have commanding presence that went down to 5 points. That's pretty good, I
Good.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to just go through these really
Sure.
quick? Yeah. Comms jammer, 15 points is what it used to be 5. I think that's really good. Never saw it on the board.
Still don't know if we'll see it on the board, but
I
Probably won't
still
take it.
think it's got some good units, some good play once droids.
I challenge you.
and-
Oh, okay, cool.
Once droids and clone troopers come out, and having those order tokens passed
Throw
out,
it on your speeder.
You're
bike
going to
and go.
have units wanting to get in close, maybe. Disrupt their line a little bit.
Okay.
Long range comm link went down to 5 points as well. So,
Good.
Yeah. Battle meditation, that went down to 5 points.
That was one we were really hype on when we figured out how it worked, and then nobody still took it.
Yeah.
Well, I think because I was running Luke, and Luke, you're really only running one Force upgrade, and if
Guess
I have
what?
a choice between Force
Not gonna be
push
that, yeah.
and
Yeah.
that, it's gonna be Force
Maybe
push.
Operative Luke will.
Yeah, that could be.
Force reflexes, that went down to 10 points, which is good. Saber throw down
Laughs
to
at
5
Vader.
points. Yeah, and then so that was all the Force ones. E-stems went up, which I think is good because I saw a lot of E-stems on the board.
There was a lot of E-stems
yeah,
out there.
so that's 12 now.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
okay.
so 50% increase.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of the opinion where I think E-stims are must for guys like Luke for
Yep.
for units that are going to be up in
Boba
up in the
Fett.
fight.
Yeah.
Boba Fett. But when you're starting to see E-stims on strike
Everything,
teams
yeah.
and E-stims on Death Trooper units, like, all right, that's enough. Get out.
Yeah.
Good. Stop
Yeah.
it.
So I think it was a good change because you're seeing E-stems on so many units. Add the med droids to that,
Yeah.
where you're not gonna heal off of the E-stems, but it gives you more control over when you can heal that unit. I think that was a good. I wasn't expecting that, and I think it was a good change.
Agreed.
Targeting scopes went down to 4 points. Again, small change, good change. Haven't seen a lot of them, but
No.
It's not. I mean, you're really only taking them if you're playing Stormtroopers.
yeah,
Because I'm not taking them on Rebels because I'm not aiming for the most part.
right.
I
Maybe
can
when we
reroll
get the
4 dice?
tactical,
Yeah.
we see some tactical cards out there. Maybe that'll change.
No, true.
Let's see what next. Barrage generator that went down to 7 points. Both generators went down
Yeah.
to 7 points. The barrage and the overcharged.
I'm excited to
Yeah,
try out
those
the web again.
needed to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then duck and cover. I didn't expect this one down to 4 points. Which heck yeah, man.
I'm really stoked for that because that also is going to increase the playability of Pathfinders and Jin.
Yep.
Is that where they get said? Because I was thinking about this. When the last time I took duck and cover is when I was playing solo still.
Yeah. So I think that was a good point change.
Yeah.
Yeah, I play them quite a bit. If I'm ever playing Pathfinders, they're staple to Pathfinders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Same, with Jin, Han. Yeah, anybody that wants suppression on them, duck and cover's going on them for sure.
Perfect.
So that was all the points changes. Next are the unit card changes. So I'll just go down the list. The 1.4 FD laser cannon. I think this was a good change.
Good
It can
change.
now go out to range 5.
That's huge.
Yeah. And for a unit that couldn't move and was just, sitting there taking shots at people, really wanting people to move into its range, it gives you a lot more board coverage.
Oh, you guys are doing breakthrough? Cool. I guess I'll just sit here and die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I got this, guys.
well, I mean, it
news.
was really just being used as an area denial piece.
Yeah.
And now it's that.
Now it's got
plus
more
a little
area
bit.
to deny.
Yeah. The E-Web, this changed. They got rid of plotting, which is
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah, it still has cumbersome, so you still can't move and shoot, but
You can get that double move to reposition a little bit better.
Yeah, and it brings it in line with what the Rebels have, the Mark II. So that's not too bad. The T-47 we already went over. It's immune to range 1 weapons now. They did not change battle meditation. The sniper rifle, that's range 1 to 5 is now as well now. But both snipers. And then I think that's it actually, because the rest of these we've already covered. The T7 Ion, so that went to range 1 to 3. So
overall, what are your impressions?
I think it's some good changes. I was a little nervous when people started, saying, "Hey, points changes are coming," because I saw that in X-Wing, and I saw it change not just what was getting fielded, but they changed the points, and then they changed how the game played too. They took away a lot of abilities, a lot of synergy, which they kind of needed to in that game. But it was the Wild West out there, and not in a good way. It was, what's going to change next week? What's going to change the week after that? So the fact that they said once a year, I think that's good.
Yeah. And props to FFG for putting this out before the Clone Wars stuff came out.
Yeah.
So hopefully that grass is greener, mentality is like, oh, wait, no, I've still got good stuff and, the original factions.
Yeah.
A kind of unexpected thing that this is going to really be nice about is this is going to kind of shake the meta up.
Oh, yeah.
So droids and clones aren't going to be walking into a established meta where everyone knows what they're running. Like they're kind of they're walking into a situation where both Imperial and Rebel players are kind of like, well, what's really good right now?
Yeah.
And because
do I bring an Ion?
I think you have to think about that, because we have new units coming out on the board that we've never seen before. You have to think ahead a little bit of, what armies am I going to be facing? It's not just going to be your one army or the other army. So
when you combine this update with the addition of Tauntauns, shoretroopers, dewbacks, and then also the Clone Wars box set all coming out within a month of each other, I think this is the most wide open we've seen this game since it came out.
It's a good time to do it too, because I think, like you were saying, Rebel and Imperial players are going to be trying to relearn their units again now, and what's good, just in time for new players to be coming in. So a little bit more equal footing.
Yeah,
I think you have to be ready for what you're going to face too. You got 4 armies that you could face now. It's not just 2.
Yep.
And
the biggest indication that this is a positive change for the most part is I look at this and there's nothing that's like, well, I have to take this now.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing that's like, wow, I can't take this, or I have to take this.
Right. Or thinking about, what you're going to see on the opposite side of the battlefield.
Yeah.
Like, now I have to think about, I'm going to see, I don't know, triple, I can't think of that. Just lists that are going to be outrageous.
Triple bikes.
Triple bikes. Yeah,
I wasn't expecting to see triple bikes again.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now I'm thinking like, oh, wow, do I have to worry about triple bikes again?
Yeah.
No.
Dual T-47, that's Bane.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely that.
Normally I would
anything's my Bane, Jeff. Come on.
6 months ago, one of our guys in our local meta, a little for fun tournament brought 2 T-47s, and I kind of laughed at him.
Yeah.
And I beat him, but he did all right with it. But if that showed up next week when we have a tournament here, I'm not going to laugh at it.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Look at it and say, all right, how am I going to deal with this?
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of offensive firepower, and then if they're running the outer rim jockey, and I can't throw grenades at it,
right?
How am I going to kill it?
I'm so envious of you Rebel players right now.
You have 2 beautifully painted.
They are beautifully painted, but I literally have nothing else I would want to run with them right now. Like Tauntauns and Hoth veterans.
You probably aren't going to have the points for that anyway.
Oh, that's a good point.
If you run 2 T-47s, you run some Z6s with them, and then Leia.
I do have those.
Or Shell Silverstein.
No, quit trying
whoever.
to tempt me back to the light.
Dude, come back.
No, okay, I'm back.
There's always room for you here in the Rebel Alliance.
Yeah, the light side, dark side is like a revolving door for me.
We're built on hope, man.
Oh, okay, cool.
Just
I'm
live
going
in
to
the
go
gray
back where
area.
it's built on cookies.
I think it's good because you're going to have some very general armies that can deal with everything.
General
out there.
armies.
Yeah. Some non-specific, units. You're going to have to take a range of things because you don't know what you're going to be playing against. Maybe.
It's a good place to be in the game.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for the next couple months.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to more of the new units for the Clone Army and the droids.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see those.
This is going to be an exciting month for Legion.
Yeah.
It is, for sure.
Get some games in. Everybody.
Okay. Don't
Right now.
Don't tell me with a good time, Matt.
Okay.
So that pretty much wraps up our talk about the upgrades.
Yeah.
What do we got from our Patreon? I know we
Ooh,
got some action,
Patreon.
huh?
Yeah. We have new Patreon member, Mike Reynolds. Thank you very much. I think he jumped on the Discord already. But we also we owe some drawings for last month because it was we were doing every 2 weeks right now. But we because of John's painting backlog at the moment, we're still trying to get a couple of Patreons, and the imminent arrival of two brand new factions for Legion.
Yeah.
We're going to be, at least for now, substituting the painted model for one of the Barricada shirts. So congratulations to, guess what? Star Wars hockey fan FL.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad to hear you survived the hurricane.
Well, if not, he can use the T-shirt to help sponge up some of the waters that are destroying his, house.
Hope not.
Hope not. Yeah.
Hope not.
And then also Darren McGregor won the gift card. So
awesome!
Congratulations, guys! Thank you very much for the support. And I think that was pretty much all that.
Cool. Well, that wraps up for this week. We got a week off next week. I'll be in San Diego doing some surfing and whatnot. Hopefully, don't get eaten by a shark.
Me and Jeff are gonna go do an episode.
Are we?
I don't know. Maybe
just like at your house.
See. Yeah,
just in the basement.
Hey guys.
Oh no.
That's the washing machine. Don't pay attention to that.
But hopefully, when we come back in 2 weeks, we should have some Clone Wars.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Very exciting.
Reset the clock.
Damn it.
You've been listening to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tatooine Network.
Only now, at the end, do you understand?
For more from the Outriders, make sure you like us on Twitter @Legion Outriders, subscribe to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Legion Outriders, and make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast. Thanks for listening.
You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home.